I often tell groups, because I'm often asked, what can we do about the political dysfunction? Well, first of all, I don't care whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, a Libertarian, I don't care what you are. Don't vote for someone who proudly says he or she will never compromise.
Michael and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's deployed today. But my father came from a Kenyan family that includes generations of Muslims. As a boy, I spent several years in Indonesia and heard the call of the azan at the break of dawn. I have known Islam on 3 continents before coming to the region where it was first revealed. That experience guides my conviction.
You're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith.
As the Holy Quran tells us, the Holy Quran teaches that the Holy Quran tells us, and the Holy Quran also says, we will convey our deep appreciation for the Islamic faith, which has done so much over the centuries to shape the world.
That Hamas does not care about the lives of Palestinians, does not care about the lives of Israelis or Americans. They don't care about their own lives. They consider dying for the sake of their ideology a way of worship.
Don't give them any money. Find somebody of your party who's sensible, who understands the legislative process, who's not going to Washington proudly to destroy what our founders built.
This is a record of failure. President Obama and too many like him in Washington have refused to make difficult decisions because they're more worried about their next election than they are about the next generation.
347-324-3287, 347-324-3287. Voice your opinion. Participate in your future. Become engaged in socio-political events. Say your piece. 347-324-3287, 347-324-3287.
And if you do have an intent of calling, you better do it now. We're moving into the final 9 minutes of the show. So, Joe, Obama and his dance troupe seem to be playing a very dangerous game with this threat of overreached executive powers. I've heard that the fear that Obama will breach the U.S. Constitution without reprisal from the Republican opposition party, it seems to be getting louder. And, Boehner's statements certainly didn't put impeachment on the table. It sounded like impeachment was dead. What do you think?
I don't know what to think about all of that. I don't know how the man is still in the White House, number one. And number two, I do believe that he is, without a doubt, the worst president that the United States has ever had to endure. And my feelings are so strong that sometimes I think it might be best if he does nothing, which is what he has been doing, and does not make any drastic moves in the Mideast or with Russia or, in fact, with anything, because he's so inadequate and completely unprepared and overwhelmed. He doesn't know what he's doing, and for him to just do anything at this point might be more disastrous. Maybe he's best just sent on vacation and kept on vacation until we can get rid of him. I mean, that's how bad I think that this man is.
Yeah, the way I see it is it's all dependent upon these midterm elections. If the Republicans pick up 6 Senate seats in the Senate, then I can see a full impeachment being completed without the Democrats being able to block it. So, what I say tonight at 7 minutes to the end of the show, Republicans, if you sincerely wish to hobble the current president and allow Joe Biden to become the next president until the next federal election, then get off your backside and vote in the midterms. Send Republicans to the Senate. And Democrats and liberals, if you also believe in your president as much as you claim you do, then do likewise. Exercise your right to vote and see if you can influence who goes up to the Senate and the Congress, because things have got to change. The American government is no different than the Canadian government. Some of these people have been there so long, they're part of the furniture, and they just show up and vote every so often when they feel like it, and that's about it. And the massive paycheck and great benefits, and a pension for life, and blah blah blah. These upper politicians, they're in the lap of luxury. Never mind the president, right?
Well,
and now Obama. Sorry, go ahead.
Until the America begins to understand how much they're going to lose and how deadly all the things that are going on can be to them in their household, in their town, in their faces, I don't see them getting off and breaking the suction of that chair and getting out to vote. Because in the past they have discussed it and let me down personally as an American by not voting. And that's what's gotten us in this mess in the first place. So
and that's half the problem here, too.
You've got to get and vote.
And that's half the problem
else.
here. Yeah, even in the provincial elections, 32% get out and vote. And out of that 32%, 17% make the decision because the majority rules, right? So, 32% to 17% of the population makes the decision for the other 83%, and we're 5 minutes out, and I wanted to get to this before we close tonight, and I'm glad you called, Joe. This will wind you up, if nothing else. Illegal immigration on the U.S.-Mexican border, reaching, obviously, a fevered pitch over the last couple of months, and hundreds of civilian Minutemen are now patrolling the Texas border, along with the National Guard sent in by Perry. Illegals are being arrested and detained, and many of them are being sent back to the country of origin. A fraction of those are still in custody, but far fewer unaccompanied immigration children are crossing the Texas-Mexican border now, allowing the federal government to close some temporary shelters. What I'm concerned about is the stories that are coming out sound all la-di-da, la-di-da, but they don't mention the 63,000 illegals that have already been deposited around the country with promises to show up for some kind of immigration hearing. Now, there's no way in hell these kids are going to show up. They're gone. They're in the system. Welfare has swallowed them up and buried them, and you can't get information from a welfare file. It is classified. And, the 65,000 of these illegal immigrants are now in the United States, and it bothers me that there's no way of recapturing them unless you get lucky. But I think it's probably double that.
I think those numbers are very low. I think it's probably more like double that. And I think it's been going on. I would love to talk to you. I have to call right away another time. I'd like to discuss this with you because I have a lot to say about how the people are coming into this country and the numbers. I think the numbers are very low that is being reported. I think it's double or triple. I'm sure we will get to it, Joe, and as we move. And also, I want to talk more about the people and their attitudes and relationship to reality, and what's causing it. And we really need to talk about that as well as terrorists and Africa. These subjects that we need to talk about because people are just deaf, dumb, and blind to do what's going on. I am putting them on the list for next week. We're definitely going to break that wide open. Joe, it's been an absolute pleasure. I truly thank you for your input. And well, I'm going to be back. Good girl. That's what we like to hear. Thanks, Joe. Hopefully New York City is back to you. Take care now. And Joe from New York City, an old chat correspondent person that I used to deal with. Nice to hear. As we go into the final 2 minutes, the late night reports that U.S. Air Force and Marines are now conducting food aid drops in Iraq for those fleeing the ISIS control. It's not known if these aid drops are supported by Armed Defensive Services, but we are sure that they are. We're not sure what the rules of engagement are. If a plane or a chopper is attacked, not sure what the retaliation will be. So there have been reports that U.S. aircraft are conducting bombing runs against ISIS. However, the Pentagon are denying at this time.
and we have no corroborating evidence. So we're going to stay away from that until we can support the information. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe we've blown through an hour. It was great talking to you all. Hopefully we'll get your feedback. And next time maybe you can pick up the phone like Joe from New York City did. Pick up the phone and call in and let us know how you feel. But if you'd like to do it by email, no problem at all. VOCR2012@gmail.com. VOCR2012@gmail.com. Drop me a line, let me know. If there's anything you're interested in discussing, let me know. We can put it up on the schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to say it.
Got a minute? We all have busy lives, and sometimes we forget the small things in life that make many people happy. We work hard, we earn a great deal of money, or we hope to, and we spend a great deal of money. And yet there are those in our world who have no money to spend. There are those in this world that are fighting for survival as we speak. Give a moment to think of those people. Do what you can as a good human being. Do what you can to help their world be a little brighter. Good night, and we'll catch you back here on the next edition of VOCR Radio. This has been a TerraCast Network production.